Hi, loves, and welcome in. Take a moment to slow down, soften your breath, and just become aware of where you are right now. Because there's nothing you need to fix in this moment. Nothing you need to prove. Nothing you need to rush into. Just a quiet invitation to come back into yourself and receive what resonates with your heart. This message feels very gentle, but also very intentional, as if the Holy Spirit is not trying to correct you, but to soften something within you that has been holding too tightly, especially around how you see yourself, how you measure your progress, and the way you've been moving through life lately. Because there is a sense here that you've been carrying an invisible pressure, something that doesn't always show outwardly, but internally it feels like you're always trying to keep up, improve, or get something right. And what's being offered here is a different way of being, one that is less about fixing and more about allowing. Starting with, be human, give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, allow your humanity to show and step into your humility. Put it behind you, take a step into the day in front of you, and make the next moment the one that counts. There is something here about how you've been holding yourself to a standard that doesn't leave much room for being human. Whether that shows up as replaying things you wish you handled differently, feeling like you should be further along, or quietly judging yourself for not meeting your own expectations. And underneath that, friendship, a new friendship will blossom in your life, supportive and meaningful connection. This becomes something much softer and more relational, because when you stop trying to perfect yourself and instead allow yourself to simply be where you are, you begin to attract connections that meet you in that authenticity, not in performance, not in who you think you need to be, but in who you actually are. And there is something reassuring here that you are not meant to navigate everything alone, that as you soften your relationship with yourself, life responds by bringing in support that feels natural, mutual, and grounded. Then moving into positive shift in mindset. A positive shift will bring new opportunities, focus on positive thinking, and embrace a growth mindset. Clarified by positive feedback, you will receive feedback that boosts your confidence and encourages you to take pride in your accomplishments. There is a clear realignment happening in how you see yourself, because there may be a gap between how you've been perceiving your progress and how it is actually unfolding. And as that perception begins to shift, not in a forced or artificial way, but in a more honest and balanced way, you begin to notice that opportunities, encouragement, and validation start to meet you, almost as if life has been reflecting something back to you that you haven't fully allowed yourself to recognize yet. And this is not about becoming someone new, it's about seeing more clearly who you already are and allowing that to be enough, because the more you acknowledge your growth, the more you create space for it to expand. Then we come into, you are not behind. Comparison distorts timing. Your path unfolds uniquely. Stop measuring yourself against someone else's season. With peace, cultivate inner peace, let go of stress, and find tranquility within. And this feels like the center of the message, because there is a quiet release being offered here around time, around urgency, around the belief that you should be somewhere else by now. And this belief can be subtle. It can show up in small thoughts, small comparisons, small moments of doubt, but over time, it creates tension. It creates a feeling of always needing to catch up. And what is being shown here is that your timing is not wrong. It is simply yours. And the more you release comparison, the more your nervous system begins to settle, the more peace becomes available. Not because everything is finished or resolved, but because you are no longer resisting where you are. And there is something very healing in that, because peace is not something that comes after you arrive somewhere else. It's something that becomes accessible when you stop rejecting the moment you're in. Then moving into, silence is your superpower today. Let your energy do the talking, don't rush to fill every pause. Clarified by self-love, embrace your true self, you are worthy of love and respect. This brings in a very grounded and practical shift in how you show up, because there may be a tendency to over-explain, to justify, to fill space so that you feel understood or accepted. But there is strength in allowing your presence to be enough without needing to constantly prove it. Silence here is not absence, it is confidence. It is trust in who you are without needing to convince others of it. And when that silence is rooted in self-love, it becomes a form of alignment rather than withdrawal. You begin to notice that you don't need to engage in every conversation, respond to every energy, or clarify every misunderstanding, because your worth is not dependent on being fully understood by everyone around you. There is something freeing about allowing yourself to step back and let your energy speak for itself, because it creates space for the right people and the right situations to meet you where you are without effort. Self-love in this context is not just about how you feel about yourself. It's about how you allow yourself to move through the world with less explanation, less proving, and more trust. And finally, the kingdom is within. You search outward for answers that can only be accessed inwardly. Clarity begins in stillness. With embrace your duality, within you resides both light and shadow, and both are necessary for your balance. This brings everything inward in a very complete way, because the answers you've been seeking are not something you need to chase or find externally. They are something that becomes clear when you allow yourself to be still long enough to hear what is already present within you. There is a quiet truth here that clarity does not come from more input, more advice, or more searching. It comes from allowing the noise to settle so that your own inner knowing can rise to the surface. And part of that knowing includes accepting all parts of yourself, not just the ones that feel easy or light, but also the parts that feel uncertain, imperfect, or still in progress. When you stop trying to divide yourself into what should stay and what should be removed, and instead allow both to exist with compassion, something integrates, something stabilizes, and something becomes whole. You begin to trust yourself in a different way, not because you have all the answers, but because you are no longer rejecting parts of yourself in the process of finding them. And as you sit with this message a little longer, there is an even deeper layer that begins to settle in, one that is less about what you need to do and more about how you are being invited to exist. Because there is a shift happening here from effort into allowance, from pressure into presence, from seeking into recognizing. You don't need to become someone else to receive what is meant for you. You don't need to rush into a version of yourself that feels more acceptable or more complete. You are already in the process of becoming, and that process is not behind schedule. It is unfolding exactly as it needs to. There is something here about trusting the quiet moments, the pauses, the in-between spaces where nothing seems to be happening, because those are often the moments where the most subtle and important shifts are taking place, not externally, but internally, in the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you relate to yourself. And as those internal shifts take place, everything around you begins to reorganize to match that alignment. Not all at once, not dramatically, but steadily, in ways that feel natural rather than forced. So instead of asking yourself what you need to fix or where you need to catch up, you can begin to ask yourself what it would feel like to trust where you are just a little more, to soften your expectations just a little more, and to allow yourself to be supported in ways you may not have fully recognized yet. You are not behind, you are not off track, and you are not lacking anything essential to move forward. You are simply being guided back into yourself, back into your own timing, your own rhythm, and your own truth. And from that place, everything else begins to align without the pressure you've been carrying. So just stay here for a moment. Let your breath slow, let your body soften, and allow yourself to rest in the understanding that you don't have to rush, you don't have to prove, and you don't have to become anything other than what you already are in this moment, because that is already enough, and it always has been.